Buongiorno fishy people, my name's Alan Nosh from FishOn TV, and no, it ain't match day today. As I promised last week, we're going to be doing a bit of feeder fishing. So as you can see, I'm staying in some lovely digs at the little Crown Inn in Pontypool. Belting little place. It took me 4 hours to get here, so you can see why I come the night before. It's down in South Wales. And I'm fishing a reservoir today called Llandegfedd Reservoir, and I hope I've said that correctly to you Welsh people. Too many L's and D's in it for me, but David, the guy I've been talking to, tells me that there's a nickname for it called Deggy. Now, coming from Yorkshire, that's absolutely perfect with me. So all sorts of letters out of all sorts of words. Deggy Res, job done for me, nice one. I can't get that one wrong, can I? So. Anyway, I've never heard of it before. I've passed it dozens of times going to island fishing. And I think I saw it either in the Angler's Mail or Facebook, I can't remember, but whichever it was, read up about it and I thought, oh, I fancy a go down there, something different. So I did a little bit of homework, and here I am. And I have got to say, I ain't coming to a place this big. It's 440 acres, holds the British pike record, apparently at £46 something or other. I ain't coming all this way without doing any homework. It's massive apparently, the place. I've not seen it, but we'll soon find out when we get there. So I did a little bit of homework. Like I've told you, I think I've told you once or twice in the other videos, if you've never been to a place, do your homework. Always helps. And eventually, after a couple of emails and messages, I got a message back from a guy called Scott from Raw Baits around here. So thank you, Scott, what a mighty man you are. He's put me in touch with David Healy, and I can't tell, I've not met the guy yet. I'm hoping to meet him today at some point. He said he's going to try and get down, but he has been, I've asked for like a local expert, and I've got to say, when he started telling me things, I thought, he's the man. Nice one. I think I've dropped on nicely there, so he's given me all sorts of information that I need. It looks like it's because we haven't got the strong winds that we want, and we won't be fishing in shallow water. We're going to be actually fishing at Pentangle Point, I think it's called. So I'm meeting some guys, a ranger down there, about 9:15, and they're going to take me across to the point, which apparently is deeper water. So with it not being as windy, it should be okay there. So before we actually make a trip out there, I have got to have my, well, I can't say it's a full English breakfast, can I? I'm in Wales, so South Wales. So I'm off for my Welsh breakfast. I'm going to get that polished off, and I'll see you down on the bank and hopefully on the boat. We'll probably see a little crossing. See you soon, bye. Right, here we are then. I didn't bother boring you with all the rubbish loading my trolley and directions and stuff. It was a real slow journey, nothing worth watching, but this is a journey worth watching. I'm not going to explain how beautiful it is, but just have a look at this. There's always something to spoil the beautiful view, isn't there? This is John, ladies and gentlemen. He's taking me to, what's it, Pentangale Point. I got it wrong the first time round, so that's where we're going anyway. So look at that. Right, what I'm going to do then, I'm going to take the rest of the scenery in, and I'll see you once I've got my ground bait and everything set up. So it's going to take me about half an hour or so. I'll see you in a jiffy according to this little video, so see you soon. Cheers. Right then, fisher people, second cast. Not exactly the fish I was fishing for. Look at this thing, it's absolutely just rived my rod straight round. Second cast, bunch of maggots, size 12 hook. Let's hope he just doesn't jump about. Look at that, beautiful rainbow trout. It's got to be 3.5–4 pound. What a belting fish for the first cast. And I've got to say, I'll show you in a little bit once I've got settled. This is a stunning place. There's a breeze just turned up. Not ideal for bream at the minute, but as soon as that breeze turned up, the rod flew around. Look at that for a beauty. Llandegfedd Res rainbow trout. Belting. It don't get any better than that, does it? Wow. I'll put him back. Right, I've just had another trout, and there's trout topping everywhere here, and I'm hoping that you can see the tip here, because they have just been unbelievable bites. I'm going to pull the rod in, each one, just tightening it up. I've not had anything bream wise, or it's not a good sign, so I'm probably going to go on the long line. It's not ideal conditions for bream. There's just not quite enough breeze. It's just turned up. It's been flat calm all morning. So I'm going to get on that long line. I've just catapulted a few more balls of ground baiting. David says to keep doing it every 15 minutes or so, which I'm going to do. And he said the bream should turn up there. So if there's trout taking this bait, it tells me that there's not too many silverfish in the vicinity, so we'll give this a look in a minute. Alright folks, you've just got a view smack in front of me. It's where my tip was. I was just about to put it on so you could see my tip, but I was too late. I nearly lost my rod. Now I've been pestered with rainbow trout, and some of these guys on here they're going up and down on the boats trying to get these trout, what have you. And before this cast, I've had to reset it. I've just lost all my gear. I have no idea. I can only put it down to a ginormous pike. It was huge. Whatever it was huge. You can hear that. That's another trout. I'm just getting trouted out at the minute. Good sport, but they're not the fish that I'm after. but whatever I had on earlier, it just trashed all my gear. It felt, last time I felt a fish like that, it felt like a catfish that was about 40 pounds. It was just huge, whatever it was huge. So I've had to reset up again. Okay, so I don't know if you can hear that, it's going crazy. It's not even the biggest trout, this one. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. It's putting a hell of a fight up. So at the minute I'm on my long line. I had trout on my short line. I've got plenty of bait in on my long line. I've been balling it in every sort of 15-20 minutes. Went on my long line. First bite was that huge thing, whatever it was. I'm assuming it was a pike, which might be the reason I've not seen any bream and skimmers. Second touch, rod nearly went in. I've got this rainbow trout. So I haven't caught where I've come for yet. You might as well see me land this one, but it was a hell of a bite. I only just got hold of my rod. Yeah, he's certainly angry. Well, you can see the end of my idle bat. Look, it's all gone flat. It's, while I was trying to adjust the camera, whack, off it went. Crazy fish. I think this one has been on steroids or something. Good grief, what a fight he's put up. There you go, look. Look at that. Get in. Oh, swimming out. There you go. What a mighty battle that was, Mr. Trout. Tommy Trout. Right, I thought I'd let you see that one. Over and out, I'll unhook it and see if we can start catching some of these bream I know are in here. Right, what a morning I've had. I'm chasing bream and skimmers and roach, and I've had nothing but trout and pike. I've had my gear trashed twice. I've had to set up twice. It's been unbelievable. So I can only think the reason I'm not getting any of these skimmers, bream, hybrids and roach is because of those pike, because whatever they were, I've two in forecasts and I've not been able to hold it wherever it was, and it's just trashed everything. Everything's gone. So God knows what they were. I've just had another trout. It's not giving me chance to do. It's not giving me too much chance to film because I've been waiting till I was going to wait till I was catching bream and hybrids and things, but that's not happened. I've had these crazy trout up to like 4 pound. It's gone berserk with them, and they're just jumping everywhere around me. So I'm going to fill it in properly with some ground bait, and I'm going to pile plenty of balls of ground bait in, and I'm going to see if I can get these bream to turn up. I've got 3 hours left, but just look at where I am. It's absolutely beautiful, and the only thing that's missing is bream, roach and hybrids. Here, have a look. And the breeze is just getting up, so that might be a sign. How beautiful is that, eh? Right, I'm going to fire a load of ground bait out there now, because these trout, the thing is when you get the trout, because they've got sharp teeth, they take it right down like a perch does, and you have to change your hook length every time. So great sport, because they come flying out of water and everything. It makes you giggle, but what can you do? There's not a lot I can do. I just want these bream and roach, but I can't get them. These fellas on boats, I'm sure they'll be loving it if they were catching this many trout today. Right, over and out. I'm going to fill it in. Well, not totally fill it in, but I'm going to put quite a few balls of ground bait out there, see if we're going to trap these hybrids and skimmers and bream and stuff. See you in a bit. Right, we've just put half a dozen or 8 balls in. Right, that's just settled. Oh, look at that, straight in, a trout again. Can you believe that? I nearly pulled. That's just unreal. I just cannot get rid of these trout. Did you see that, folks? That was incredible. That just settled, whack. Nearly pulled my rod in again, and I know this is a trout. Eh, dearie me. They're incredible bites. I mean, it's a good sport, but where's my bream? At least we're catching fish, I suppose, but not the target species. I do know that the season starts for them big time. I know you can't coarse fish it after the end of this month, and I think it's pike and trout, but they must have restocked it or something, because it's gone crazy. Every single fish is a trout. Three, 4 pounders they are. I've had one smaller one at about £1.5. I think this is number, gosh, I don't know, it's about 10, I think. I've just been thinking, I know I've been saying it might be pike that's grabbing my gear, but it's been breaking halfway down the shock leader as well, so I'm just wondering if it's been catching on rocks or something out there, because it's unusual that. £8 shock leader, brand spanking new. It shouldn't break like that. Oh. Gone. Hook pulled out. Oh well. Oh no, the hook broke. So those sharp teeth they've got, I think. Because everyone's had it right down to gullet as well, so I'll tie another hook to this. Update soon. Right, I don't know whether you can see this, but I'm going to throw some maggots in. This is how many trout are around here. Watch this. Watch this trout come for these. And it's about as big as the others. Come on, here we go, look. Can you see him? He's coming in, look. There we go. It's about £4. He's just eating off the maggots, so. That's what I'm up against at the minute, I think. They're just going crazy, these trout. I'll throw some more. Right. I don't know whether, let me have a look. Here we go, look. I don't know whether you could see that trout, but it's just down there. Every time I put some maggots in, just here, look. You see him? There we go, look. And that's what I think I'm up with out there. Now I've just shortened my hook length, and so far I've had no trout. So while you're here, I might as well tell you what I did. Right, I threw a bomb about. I've got 12 seconds with a 1 ounce bomb dropping out there, so don't know, is that 24 foot or is it 36? Quite deep anyway, so I thought I'm happy with that depth. So I've clipped up to there. I've had 10 of those in. Guru bait up feeders. Let me just get this up here. So I've put 10 of those in. My short line, I've put 6 of those in. 6 of these at 30 metres. Now I was going to use my big slider float, but I think I'm just going to get pestered to death with all these trout. Because I mean, for them to come in this, I mean, there's another one there now. There's 2 there now. 3 big ones just outside here. So I've just got a normal cage feeder out there, a size 12 hook, 015 bottom, and oh, sorry about that. 015 bottom, a 1 metre hook length, which I've shortened them both now because these trout are just taking everything on the drop straight away. It's not in more than a few seconds. I know it's good sport, but I don't want to catch trout. Ground bait, so black roach, and the super feeder, Sonu super feeder, and of course a bit of Ringer's dark. I'm sorry, I keep looking away because I keep looking at my tip. You never know, I might get a bite from anything but a trout. So I've mixed that up. I've mixed it, I've put some molasses in, nice and sweet, got a lovely smelling flavour to it, nice and fluffy. I've actually now balled 10 balls out there of ground bait just to see if we can get those bream. I mean, David's been in touch with me, yeah, David Healy. I've got to say, he's absolutely been brilliant as far as information and what have you for fishing here. And he says it's very unusual for me to be catching all these trout, but there's not one or two, there's millions of them around here. There's absolutely loads of them. And I don't think it's to do with anything with ground bait that I've mixed. This should catch roach. I mean, there's another one just jumped out there, I don't know if you could hear it, but they're just all over the place. So my slider float, I've got a 15-foot Shakespeare team, super team. Don't think they make them anymore, but it's a cracking rod. I can get 35 metres out there, no problem. I was going to use it. I might give it a go for a bit of fun if I don't start hitting these bream and roach and what have you. So David assures me that they should turn up. Well, I'm hoping so, because I'm running out of time a little bit. It's 2:15 now, I've got a couple of hours. So I'm going to keep trying out there, see if we can get some of these bream to turn up. And I'll just keep the camera rolling now, switch it on when I get a few fish. Another trout just jumped out there. They're just all over the place. So bait wise, I've got hemp. Anyway, I'll let you have a little look. I've got hemp, dead maggots, casters. That's my ground bait. I've just been balling some of this in with a few particles in. Sweet corn, a few little pinkies, and I've got some chopped worm in there which I've just chopped up. Some live maggots if I needed them, but I've got more than enough bait. Everything that you'd need to catch roach, hybrids and bream, but they ain't turned up yet, so I shall crack on. I shall crack on and just take all this beautiful scenery in. I mean, even if I don't catch all these hybrids and bream what have you today, I'll definitely have to give it another visit because David's so upbeat about it. I mean, there's 2 trout there. Anyway, it's just, I don't know whether they've just restocked it, but there's millions of them, millions. But it's a beautiful place, and I think it's somewhere that could really produce well, because I mean, he's told me I think his best is about 95 bream. But David, while I'm at it, thank you very much for your help. You've been an absolute gem, and I wish you all the best in promoting this place, because it really does deserve it. It's cracking. It's a massive, massive reservoir, and I'll definitely be back. So we shall crack on today and see if we can get. Oh, let me mention one thing. I've never had a platform before until I went to Southfield Reservoir. I thought I'd give it a test there, and I looked at the reviews on it and what the Matrix guys said about it. And they said, yeah, it's a good piece of kit and all that sort of stuff. They missed one thing out. It's not often I'm impressed with stuff. It's not a good piece of kit. It's a bloody fantastic piece of kit. I feel so secure in here. Whoever's designed that, you've done a cracking job. You're a mighty man, Sunshine. So well done to you, whoever's designed this. It's belting. Anyway, that's enough of advertising, Matrix. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but I'm just so... And I'm not really impressed with fishing gear. If it does its job, brilliant. I'm impressed with this piece of kit though. Cracking. So right, I'm going to crack on now and see if I can snare a few bream and roach. See you soon. Well, just reeling that one in, and look what's taking it as I was reeling it back in. Another trout. Gosh, it's unbelievable. It's absolutely wick with them. I don't know. Well, I'll get this one out, a hook out. Oh, it's at least with reeling it in, it's not got it down its gullet, so there we are. Look at that. Great little buggers. Sorry for swearing, but God, Bennett. Oh dear. David's texted me as well, sort of. We're trying to fathom out what it is, and they've not been showing all season, but I've lost track. I mean, there's some massive ones down here. I mean, if I'd put my waggler float down there with 3 or 4 maggots on or a worm, I'd catch it. I don't know how big that one is down there, £5, £6, I don't know. It's a great big massive one, but you know, anyway, we'll crack on. Right, there's not been a right lot to report because I haven't caught the fish that I've wanted. I've been trashed twice more by these trout and pike or wherever they are. I mean, I even had one that snapped the hook. I've never had that happen to me in my life, so I don't know what the heck's going on. I've gone out there now with a window feeder, and I haven't got long left now. I've only got about an hour left, but I've just had my first bite, which it looked like either a hybrid or roach or something like that. So disappointing on the fact that I've not caught the species I've been after. It's been frustrating with these trout because the gear that I've got, braid and trout, and you know, these thin hooks and stuff, they're not made for these, and it's been an unbelievable experience. I've never had anything like it. I mean, this one down here, it was big. As I'm reeling my there we go. Right, how rude for the battery to go flat on me. Right, I missed that one. Typical. Putting the battery in just now, missed another one. I do think the roach, these though, they've been very tiny bites, but it does look like there's some silverfish starting to turn up. As usual, it's almost time to start packing up, so I've got about half an hour left or so. Let's see if we can snare a few. Gosh, these trout have drove me insane today. Anyway, we'll see how we go on. If I start hooking a few, we'll get a few more pictures. See you soon. Missed that one as well. Gosh. Well, I think I've got my first silverfish. I have. There we go. I knew there were roach. There were little bites. Oh, not the roach I was after, but better than nothing. At least one's turned up. Now I've had 3 bites on the trot. I don't even think I'm going to put them in my net now. It's because it's this time. But first roach of the day, and I've got half an hour. Let's see if we can get some more. And another little roach, I think. It's a little bit bigger actually. Oh, it might need the net. Yeah, I think I'm not going to swing that one in. Again, another bite straight away. Where were these this morning? Big trout just jumping at the side of me again. So as you can see, I'm in a nice stamp roach. I could have done with starting off with those this morning and hopefully bream turning up, but I don't know, I'd think pike, or I don't know what it is that's put them off today, because if it had been windy it would have been perfect because it's not cold or anything. And I've just been trouted to death. So anyway, we'll crack on for another half hour, and if I hook into a nice bream I'll let you know. Right, last fish of the day because the boat's coming to pick me up. It's got to be at least, I don't know, 2.5, 3 pounds I'd say. Maybe I thought 3.5 at first, but just look at that, and they have pestered my life out today. That's a little beauty, isn't it? Well, big beauty. Hey, you've been a bloody nuisance, lot of you. We'll let him back anyway. Anyway folks, not the fish that I've been targeting today. I've not been able to get rid of them. Oh, its teeth are stuck in. There we go. Right, I'll have a little chat with you on my way home. Right, a quick chat before I get on my way home. Well, I'm not going to say a disappointing day. I'm disappointed I didn't catch the fish I was targeting. So I am disappointed. But I've caught plenty of fish and I've not videoed them all because I didn't think they'd keep appearing like they have done. Those bloody rainbow trout have pestered my life out all day long. But there's cracking fish, and I'm sure if you were targeting rainbow trout you'd think you were mightiest fisherman in the world, because I could have filled the supermarket full today. I don't even know how many I've had plenty. I think I lost count after 10. I give up counting. I got fed up with catching them. The last fish that you'll see me catch, it was going to be the last cast. It's great, the last cast, isn't it? Last cast. And I didn't realise as I was feeding my feeder up, and I changed to the window feeder. That seemed to get rid of those trout at 50 metres. As I was filling my feeder up, my hook bait, the hook length, must have just dangled to my left over the side of all the bait tubs. It nearly pulled my bloody arm off. Trout! It went sailing everywhere. Oh God, they've just been cruising around me all day. From the moment I turned up, there were trout jumping and topping and swirling everywhere. And as soon as I sat on my platform and I was baiting up, as soon as they had the little plops round me coming off the feeders and stuff, trout appeared. And I think they've just shoaled up round there because I've never seen as many trout. There's some big ones as well, you know, sort of between, I think the smallest were 1.5 pounds and the biggest was about 4.5, 5 pounds. Cracking fish. But then to catch trout on braid, it just feels crazy, absolutely crazy. One's broke my hook. God no, I've never had that happen to me before. And I've been trashed 3 times, and I don't know whether there's some rocks down there or in the deeper water, but the rod's gone round. It's been very heavy, and I thought, oh dear, what's this? It felt like a catfishy type weight, you know, a big lump, and then it's just gone bing on the shock leaders. So I've had to re-tackle up 3 times, which when you're only fishing for 5 hours, it's not ideal. So God knows what they were. They were pike, or I don't know what they were, but that's never happened to me before. I mean, to tackle up 3 times, all brand new stuff, and it just snaps. Takes 10 or 15 yards of line and then just snaps. But they did feel very heavy, not the typical trout where they're darting all over, jumping out and everything. So it's been an entertaining day. I never even tried the slider because the amount of trout that were there, that would have just been pointless. I would have got even more trout. Right at the end, the bites changed at last. But there were only small roach between 4 and 6 pounds. So I just don't think the fish have been there at all. I've put plenty of bait in. I slightly over-wetted the bait. David sent me a text as well. I just sort of say over-wet it, try and get it to go down there a bit more of a ball, which I did. Tried everything that I know shot, the hook lengths, and they just weren't having it, weren't the BREAM at all. So it's been an entertaining day, but I've not caught the fish I was targeting, so I am a little bit disappointed on that side. But the place is wonderful. David did tell me to watch a dead ship video, so he's actually done a feature on it as well, and he came for 5 hours and he was I think he caught about 40 or 50 pounds of hybrids, so they are there. And by the way, I know you don't know me, Des, but well done on winning Park Dean Masters. What a mighty fisherman you are. So yes, disappointing. I've asked when the best time to come back would probably be, and quite a few guys seem to think April time might be a good time to come, so I'm going to come back. I will not be defeated. I'm going to have some of these BREAM out of here. But that's fishing for you. You don't always catch and get exactly what you want. So I have caught fish, but not the ones I wanted anyway. So not much to tell, not the video I wanted to produce. This is a fantastic place. I will be coming back. David Healy, fantastic guy. Thank you very much for all your help and advice, and I'm sure you'll be hearing from me again in April, and I hope to meet up with you next time. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's not the longest video, it's not as long as I wanted it, where I was catching loads and loads of bream. So this week, last week I was the mightiest fisherman. I've got to say I am the semi-skimmed fisherman of the week. But I shall be back. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you do enjoy the videos I'm putting out there, please don't forget to subscribe. It's absolutely free. Press the bell and you'll get notifications as soon as you upload new videos. So until next week, and I think we're fishing Barnborough fisheries on Tuesday in our weekly match. So we'll catch up then. I'll see you soon. I've got a lovely 4-hour drive and then it's bedtime when I get home. Ta-ta for now. Fish on, guys. See you later.